Hi, Donald M. here with Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School. Today we're going to show you how to install the seat riser on a Crescent SUP Plus. As you can see, seat riser looks very similar to the one in the light tackle if you've seen that video. It gives you a nice lift, helps you get up and down easier a little on the SUP Plus, and we'll let you know in another video how well I think it helps you paddle. But right now we're just going to do an install. So as you can kind of see here, there's actually two bungees on the seat riser with the SUP Plus, and that is because the original shorter, or this bottom bungee is the original bungee, and that now holds your seat riser rather than holding your seat. We have to install a new bungee, and we have to move the clips from the old bungee to the new bungee. So if you follow me to the other side, we're going to get started on that. So as you see on this side, this is the original bungee, still on the SUP Plus, still has the two clips to hold the seat in. The first thing we're going to do is get a pair of needle nose pliers, and that's going to help you take some stuff apart, or take these knots out of these bungees. So the first thing we want to do is take a knot out. You can pick whatever side you like. I like the front just because I'm on this side right now. You're going to pull some bungee up, and you're just going to take and put the bungee in your non-working hand, and all that's going to do is let slack in it, so you're not trying to fight the bungee, and the bungee's not trying to fight you the whole time. And what we're going to do is take our pliers, and we're just going to take our time and try to undo this knot so that it comes undone. Now don't let this go, because I don't want you getting hurt. It's under a lot of tension, so just kind of ease it to the other hand, and we're going to slide both of these plastic hooks and just sit them off to the side. I like to sit them in that little handle right there because it's a nice little cubby hole, so that way they don't knock off the SUP Plus. See, now you're going to take your bungee cord, and again, you're going to take your non-working hand and take all the slack out, and you stick that cord underneath that pad eye, okay? Pass it over, and all that slack goes in that hand again, and you're going to tie a knot. Now, you're not going to tie two knots, you're going to tie a knot upon itself. What I mean is, so there's a half knot, right? Half hitch kind of knot. So I'm going to try to do this again, right? Underneath, very simple knot. Now, rather than tying another knot behind it or on top of it, we're going to come right back through that same open loop, and then we're going to push the knot towards the end of the bungee and cinch it up. So there it is. That's the knot. Very simple. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So if you missed it that time, you don't have to rewind. You can just watch in a few more minutes. So that is the simplest part right there. So now this bungee goes right on the seat riser and holds it nice and secure. You're going to take the bungee that comes with your kit, and your bungee may not be this long. I've got an excessively long bungee cord. I just have some excess, so you may have the perfect length, you may have a little excess, and if you have excess, we're going to show you how to trim that when we get to the end. For right now, we're going to show you the beginning. So you're going to take this bungee cord, one end of it, and you're going to stick it in the pad eye that's got the other bungee in it. So I'm going to try to pull this knot out of the way, and we're just going to put it right to that same pad eye, and you're going to do that same knot again as close as you can to the end. So I'm going to try to get about 2 or 3 inches towards the end. Again, half knot. You're going to take the end of it right through the self, right, and then you're going to push it towards the end, all right, or pull it, however you want to do it. Get that down, and now it's as close to the end as possible and not coming through that pad eye. So there's how you tie that knot one more time. So now I'm going to take this excess cord, and I'm just going to throw it towards the back of the SUP, and I'm going to flip sides on you so I can get out of the way of what I'm doing here. I'm going to grab both of those both of those seat clips, and I'm just going to slide it. Make sure they're both facing the same way. I'm going to slide it onto the bungee cord, just like that. And then we're going to take the end of it, and we're going to slide it through this pad eye, kind of like you did on the front. Except we're not going to tie the knot right now. We're just going to stick it through there and let it kind of hang off. We're going to take our hooks, and we're going to hook them on the seat just like it was attached. So I'm going to hook the first one just behind the seat strap, and I'm going to hook the second one right in front of that screw or bolt that goes on the seat. Still let your seat fold as far forward as you're going to need it. It just really holds it, and it doesn't allow that clip to slide down the seat, and it really holds that really nice and firm on that seat riser. So now, as you can see, we've got a little bit of tension, but not much, because this really isn't holding anything. So what we have to do is we have to measure how long we want this bungee cord. And in order to do that, we're going to have to pull on this end until we get enough tension that we feel that's holding that seat secure, because right now it's sliding. So we're going to pull on that bungee cord, still sliding a little bit, still sliding a little bit. There we go. That's a nice sound. It's a good sound. So what we're going to do, if you're going to come in here kind of close, we're going to mark this with our fingers. Okay, and what I mean is we want our knot to be right here, right there is where we want our knot, or actually a little farther. I can put a little more tension on it. So when we tie our knot, that little slack can go back in. So I want that knot to be right there. We don't want to cut it here. We want to make our knot there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release these clips to give me a little bit of slack so that I can pull this up. And again, just like the front, I'm just going to mark it with my backhand. So now I'm going to tie a knot. And I'm just going to tie a half knot for right now. And I'm going to push this little knot all the way back down to where my mark is. This goes a lot faster in practice than it does in person and on camera. So you got the half knot there. You're going to take your end, you're going to stick it right back through again, just like that. Okay, and this time, instead of pushing it towards the end of the bungee cord, we're going to tighten it. We're going to push it towards our thumb. So right there, and then slide it back towards the kayak. So that way that tightened end, the knot tightens towards the kayak. So now, if we let that loose, all right, it's got a little bit of slack here, but that slack is then taken up when we connect our hooks to the seat. So there is that. Okay, so that is the finished product. Still got that tension on there. That's holding nicely. It's not going anywhere. It's very secure. So now we have to trim this if you have excess. So there we go. You have to trim this. And then when you trim bungee cord, you have to be kind of careful, because bungee cord is constantly retracting on itself, which means, excuse me, means if you cut it, it wants to kind of unravel and frail, if you will, because each fiber is pulling against the other fibers, so some get shorter. So don't have any tension on it. As you can see, I took it off the seat. It's very loose. You're going to cut it about an inch or so away from your knot. Doesn't take a super sharp knife. Okay, excess bungee, put it away, keep it for later. You never know when you're going to need it. So I use a little mini torch, really easy to find. You can get these a few dollars at gas stations or whatever. Make sure you don't burn your fingers. You're just going to hold it and let that end get hot, just like that. If you're doing this inside of a garage, just breathe in that wonderful smell. I highly advise not doing it indoors. So it's going to get that hot, and then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to kind of squish it on two sides and then let it cool for just a couple seconds. You can blow on it. I'm outside, there's a breeze, so it's cooled enough to the touch. You don't have to touch that, but that is it. So now there is a complete seat riser install on a SUP Plus from Crescent Kayaks. And if you watched my install video on the light tackle, you're going to notice that there is a place to store tackle boxes on the seat riser, which is awesome, because although it looks good, it's got a nice form and fit and function just in the seat riser itself of getting you up on a higher platform, getting your knees at a better angle, your hips at a better angle. I really think it's going to be the best possible height to get you in a better position to paddle if you are going to sit down and paddle on this SUP Plus. However, these two, I've got two of these 3600 Plano boxes, really popular box. These are the waterproof ones. I use these for fly fishing a lot. A lot of guys use them for tackle boxes. So these will fit right up underneath in that little cubby hole of the seat riser. So what's wonderful is that as you're sitting down, you actually gained tackle box storage on the SUP Plus. So it's really nice to have that kind of bonus, a nice little piece of equipment, so you can grab your box. It comes in and out really easy, and when you're sitting down, I can put as much weight on this as I want to, and it's not going to get enough slack in it to even hit those boxes. So even with your full body weight on it, you can still slide a box out, take out what you need, slide it back in. So there it is. That's the full install on a Crescent SUP Plus seat riser. And if you got any questions, please leave them below, comments. We'll get back to you just as soon as we can. Thank you for watching.